bids by the various ministries, departments, and agencies was of the order of 700 billion ZiG. This is almost 90% of the GDP. Clearly, no country can support 90% of its GDP using, tax revenues. So our envelope is of the order of 276 billion ZiG. That's what we're able to support. So we cannot fulfill the needs clearly because the economy cannot generate 90% of GDP in terms of tax and revenues. In fact, no economy can. So what we have is something where we think we'll be able to live within our means, and we believe that the budget is addressing the key areas which seek to entrench and strengthen our resilience as an economy to various shocks, be they internal, be they external. But in doing so, making sure that we invest in infrastructure, we continue to support our social sectors, health, education, social protection for the vulnerable, and other such important activities, enhancing food security, supporting our Food Interest program or presidential input program. That's what the budget seeks to do, and any gap will be funded through some borrowings, we're able to do that, and also sale of assets. But I must say that over the last 6 years, we have shown that we're able to manage our budget without difficulty. We have lived within our means, and you can be sure again in 2025 we'll live within our means and have again a good year. We expect the economy to grow at 6% of GDP, and this is good recovery indeed. In fact, all sectors next year are expected to show a positive rate of growth due to the recovery of the agricultural sector as an associated sector, but also due to a better rainfall season in the first place. Very much. As you know, in the midterm budget and also in November 2024 budget, when I did the announcements last 23 announcements for the 2024 budget, we did quite a bit on the mining sector. If you recall, we introduced a 1% tax on revenues for the mining companies for support of local communities where these mining companies are located. That is now being implemented. You can't reintroduce it, it's already there. So I think really what you should be doing is assessing how well that is working. We also have insisted that the miners need to do some beneficiation. And we are insisting that lithium cannot be exported without penalties if it is not beneficial to the level of lithium sulfate. We're insisting on that. So we are finding that when it comes to that sector, we've really been, insistent that beneficiation is key. That's what will benefit Zimbabwe. That's what will benefit Zimbabwe from its natural resources. And you can see with the progress that's being made, for instance, in the iron and steel facility in Manize, that's going to benefit Zimbabwe enormously. Not only will we just account for iron ore extraction, but we're now accounting for steel manufacturing. So it ceases to be just mining, it is now steel manufacturing. 2 years ago, we also removed the provisions for export processing zones for mining companies. So again, we're not going to have any revenue leakage through that provision because it's now closed for the mining sector. We've said that they can only acquire that status if they move to beneficiation. In other words, if they move to manufacturing. That's where we think the benefit ought to be extended in terms of the export processing provisions. So we've done a lot, I think, to ring fence the benefits, to harness, to maximize the rewards from our natural resources, and we'll continue to do more. Will be paid as normal, their salaries and bonuses. As you know, since 2018, we've always been able to do that. We've always paid salaries and bonuses, and now, as you know, we're splitting the salary in US dollars and ZiG component. So both of those will be paid, they'll be honored. And we've just gone through a wage review, as you know, for civil servants to make sure that we can catch up with the costs of living, and we'll continue to do so as we go forward to make sure that our hard-working civil servants don't fall behind cost of living expenses.
We'll do 2 more questions and then we're done.